Welcome back to the channel. Let's explore together. Today we're checking out Memories of Yesterday by a group called Loser Parade. Now, this was submitted through the website where you can request reactions throughout the month of October. They're actually discounted for, you know, October, Halloween nonsense. So, hey, if you comment stuff or you just really want me to react to something, check out my website. I'll pin a link below and you can request me check out something as well. So that's enough about that. Let's check out what was sent to us. Here we go. You know, that little riff kind of reminds me of loosely of a more guitar-based version of Time After Time. Dun 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 dun. You know that song? That's what that reminded me of. And I believe the person who requested this is the lead singer of this band, by the way. So I think there's some issues with the transitions here. A little bit. The transition from the first stanza to the second stanza of the verse seemed like a little rocky. And then this transition into the bridge, the guitar actually kind of skipped a few rhythmic spots. So the transitions could be cleaned up. It still gives me that Time After Time vibe. Time after time. Like I'm still hearing that melody in my head. It's pleasant enough though overall. I'd like to hear a little more done in the recording booth, right? We have one vocal layer and we don't have many other layers going into it. If you're wondering why I'm going into critique mode, that was requested in the email, was not just to react, but also provide some critique, since I've been doing music and production for like 15 plus years. So that's why we're going into that. Usually we don't do a lot of critiquing on this channel. We just do quick tidbits, but per request of the person, we're doing a little more in-depth critiquing on this. So I would want more vocal layers and effects and like just a bigger sound, especially in the chorus. I can understand if you want an intimate verse where it's just one vocal layer, but don't keep that same energy through the chorus. It just, the whole thing, how it was engineered, feels like a just a live recording of a band's practice or rehearsal session. And you don't want that in a recorded version. That's fine if it's like a live show, but for a recorded studio version, you don't want it to just feel like the band's just kind of playing it and someone happened to record it. And that's how this feels right now, especially with some of the parts where the guitar loses its rhythm and some of the jarring transitions. It just does not feel like there was a lot of attention done to the polish, and there wasn't a lot of attention placed towards everything that goes into recording something to make it sound like a studio version, if that makes sense. I like this little visualizer though. Like I said, overall this sounds pleasant. The instrumental arrangement is nice, it's familiar. The vocal sounds fitting for the style. It's just lacking that post-production finesse.
Just keep going on, but I can't seem to move
This is
on.
the guest vocalist, I believe, that we were introduced to in the credits.
Without you here, the hardest thing I've had to do was say goodbye to you.
What's interesting is they have very similar vocal styles. So it'll be interesting to hear how they try to do a harmony on the chorus, because I would assume we'll get a chorus with a harmony. A chorus where they're both singing at the same time. That would be my assumption of where we're going. I could be wrong. But I'll be curious to see how their voices go together, because they might just kind of meld into each other unless they're very distinct on their harmonies.
What can I do?
Hey, there's a echoey voice.
I still can hear you, see you in my dreams whenever it speaks to me. You said you would be here, nothing.
This bridge, I feel like is it doesn't work with the rest of the song. Like everything just feels like it starts to fall apart. Like I said, the instrumental gets off rhythm when you transition into the bridge, especially the guitar. And then this whole part just feels like it's delayed. Like the drums hitting a little late, the instruments are hitting a little late. It just starts to just fall apart into messy in the bridge. And this is the second time the bridge is played, and I've gotten that same feeling of just messy garage band sound, which is weird because the verses and the chorus don't necessarily carry that same feel, but the bridge definitely does. Here we are.
You, see you in my dreams when heaven speaks.
All right. Again, we're having the rhythm issues are like sticking out to me. Whoever the guitarist is here needs to have a metronome playing really loud in their ear when they're doing this, because they're strumming on the wrong tempo. And they've done it several times. They're doing it here again now that the drum's gone. The guitarist has rhythm issues. They need a metronome to keep them on rhythm because their internal clock is not doing them any favors. It takes me out of the song every time that the guitar's coming in, usually too early, but sometimes too late. That's going to be something that definitely needs addressed.
To me, you said you would be here, nothing to ever fear.
You hear right? I'm going to point, I don't mean to be this nitpicky, but you did ask for it in the email. I do enjoy this song, but there's so many structural things that are taking me out of the song every time I get into it. So right here, when they say ever fear, listen to like the guitar, the drum, and the bass. They are not in syncopation rhythmically. So listen, that'll be the part where you'll be able to hear it distinctly if I'm trying to point it out. When they say nothing to ever fear, you'll hear all the instruments just kind of jump out of rhythm from each other. Listen for it there.
You would be here, nothing to ever fear.
You hear that, like that lapse where the drum was hitting one place, the bass was somewhere else, and the guitar was somewhere else. I'm going to play it one more time. Listen to hear if you can hear that.
Be here, nothing to ever fear.
You hear that? Everything missed. I don't know who started it. The drum seemed off, the bass seemed off, everyone went off rhythm there. And you can't have that in a recorded studio version. I understand that happening live, but if you've taken the time to record it and mix it and release it, you can't let those things stay in there. It takes away from the song way too much. That cannot exist in a studio recording. It's not allowed. So while the song I like, the lack of diligence in the post-production really hurts it.
You slip away, I still can hear you, see you in my dreams when heaven speaks to me. You said you would be here, nothing to ever fear, then you slipped away.
Of course, these might all be digital instruments, and then and in that case, it's even easier to fix. You just transpose them, or not transpose them. My brain's not working. There's a word for it. Oh, it was right there, and then it went away. Oh my goodness. Hold on. It's gonna bother me. Give me a second. All right, it came back to me. Quantize. You need to quantize them, and that'll get them in syncopation with the right bars. Well, that was weird. My microphone went out. But anyway, the word I was looking for was quantize. The rest of the song was fine. It was Loser Parade featuring Tana Schneider, Memories of Yesterday. So, to regather my thoughts now that my computer betrayed me. The song's fine. Like I said, the melody is familiar, reminds me of Time After Time, and that's not a bad thing. You know, all the pieces are there. The singing is good enough, but there was not enough done in the post-production to really spice it up for something different than if you heard it live. And there was just a lot of stuff left behind. There was a lot of lack of diligence in making sure everything was cleaned up that needs to be cleaned up. As far as the mix is concerned, the drums were kind of far and away. They didn't sound like real drums. So if they are real drums, they definitely need to be mic'd up better and equalized better. But overall, I feel like the structure is there. The ingredients are there for a great song. If you can piece together those bits, I feel like you have something there. It's something I would probably want to go back and listen to again if it was done to a more professional level. I will obviously have a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and show it some love. And if you have something you want me to check out, your own band stuff or someone else's stuff, jump to the website. There'll be a link pinned below. And until we explore again, I'll see you later.